Alright, today we're having a look at Metropolis Mine by LBsP. Alright, so here we are in Metropolis Mine by LBsP, and the title page tells us that it's going to be an homage to the Metropolis from LBP1, and hello, the Factory of a Better Tomorrow from LBP2, but it's kind of looking a little bit different. I mean, the mine aspect of it. Oh, I like that. That was cute. Oh, I didn't like that. Okay, so that's... Oh, no, 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 no. Servers, servers, servers. Please, 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 servers. Thank you. I should have known that that was going to kill us, but it just looked like a neat environmental effect, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, that's... Oh, jeez. They're like... There's multiples. Okay. I like that. That was neat. I don't... Like... Okay, so, oh, fudge. Oh, wait, why didn't you put a kill floor there? I mean, I realized that the guy said to pop yourself if you fall. Come on, servers, servers, please, please, servers, servers, I'm begging you. I am absolutely begging you. You gotta work with me here. This is not Ray's fault. It's because the servers are poo. I might have to do an extra, like, minute on this to give it the full effect. Oh god. Sumo, please. Sumo. Sumo, why you gotta be like this? Yeah, okay, I noticed that we gotta pop ourselves. Cool, that's great. Well, I wanna see this. I wanna know, like, why the mine? If you're doing the Metropolis and the Factory of a Better Tomorrow, though, like, why the mine? Why not a kill floor? I mean, that's... Okay, I realized diegetic kill floors are kind of a bit of a pain to do. Oh, we can grab the top? Does that mean that we can't climb? Because that's climbable material usually. Am I doing this right? Should I be doing this? Is this the way that the... Okay, clearly not, because we're gonna run out of material. Or... Yeah? Okay. Am I supposed to be up here? I don't think I'm supposed to be up here. I think... Oh, come on! Oh! Okay, clearly that was not what we were supposed to be doing. But, like, we can get right back up there. That's... That's not... This is not how it was intended, I'm sure. We don't want to die, though, so... I mean, we don't... Obviously, we don't want to die, but we don't want to die in the same place that we died before. What is going on with this level? I like the way it looks. Okay, let's like get that right off the chump. I really do like the way it looks. It's got a great appearance to it. Now you are not from the mines or from the Metropolis. You're... What is... I feel like there's a break in the theme. And that's okay. Like, it's cool, but... Why? Oh, fudge! There's the timer. Okay, we're gonna give this a little bit of extra time. Hold on a second. I'm gonna give this a little bit of extra time. Stop. Stop. And yeah, I'm very professional here. Very professional. We'll get one more minute. There we go. Resume game. Well, okay, so you set it up as though there's a theme, right? Like, you tell players there's going to be a theme, and then you kind of don't with the theme, and it's like, well, then why did you... Why bother setting it up as why would you say that there was a theme if there's not going to be one? Where do you want me to go? There's got to be a thing that we're not seeing. And that's okay. Like, there's no paint matter to kill these things with, which is also okay. But like... Oh, what are you gonna... What the hell? What was that? I mean, it was awesome, but I was not expecting that to do what it did. Oh, fudge. What? Why would you... Why is this so difficult? Like, it feels like it's kind of early on to be this hard. Okay, we can climb the ropes, though. Oh, God. Oh, God! Just run away! Alright! Okay, so now we're in the factory. Like, now we're in a factory area. Good. Oh, wait, we already... What? Oh, we're at it in a minute. Okay, look, we gave it the extra time. I like it. It's weird. I like it, though, but it's weird. We're gonna talk about this back to hub. We'll see you there. See ya! And we're back, and Metropolis mined by Ray's Beta, and it is the orange diamond, but I do think it's a really strong orange diamond, and it needs polishing and repairing, and probably like a little bit of playtesting, but there's a lot of fun in this level. I had a really good time with it. I really enjoyed the kind of like overall design and presentation of it. I don't know if it quite nails the theming that's promised on the title page. The title page tells us that this is going to be kind of like an agglomeration of the Metropolis section from LBP 1 and the Factory of a Better Tomorrow from LBP 2, and it's kinda, sorta, not exactly. You've got like that mine aspect also that's in there. You got like actually enemies from the canyons section at the beginning that they don't like, doesn't quite feel like it works with the theming as it's presented by the title card, but as like an overall feel of a level, I did enjoy it. It's got like a lot of really neat pieces in it, but it does have, as I said, its issues. And to start off with, and why is there no kill floor in the beginning? Like, Ray's knows that this is a thing because it's called out specifically in kind of a mini little cutscene at the very beginning. You've got that worker and it's like, yo, pop yourself if you fall. But why though? Like, why would you show the player the bottom of the level like that? Just have him running around? It's kind of weird. But like, also later on in the level, and we're going to talk about the tower in a second, but there's like another section where you're going to be climbing up, and it's really easy to kind of throw yourself out of the level in that area, and that's maybe something that wasn't noticed because of a lack of playtesting, but like a kill floor in that section as well, I think would have probably helped out a fair amount. So you do the running over, and I don't know if we actually got to this in the first impressions playthrough because it was really weird with all the loading, and it was actually like ended up being 5 minutes long, and I don't know why it was that long. But anyways, so you got this like extended bit where you're going to be climbing on some like gridding, some like mesh, and there are these enemies there, and this was actually like kind of tough on my actual system because the enemies have got horrible gas on them. It looks really cool. Like, I think the enemies look really nice, but horrible gas it's pretty engine intensive, and it really slows down my system. I could hear the PS4 just like screaming at me in the background, so I kind of wish that wasn't a thing. Those enemies are kind of tough to read because they kind of zip and zop at their own pace. Like, it doesn't necessarily seem like they're chasing you per se, but it's a little bit difficult to figure out like where you're supposed to be to get away from those enemies, especially because there's like a lot of stuff in the foreground that's kind of blocking your view at times. But the ceiling is grabbable, so you could just like monkey bars and then get on top of the mesh because it's like one layer thick, and you could run along up that. And I feel like Ray's knew this because there is like a spike halfway through, and you will die if you don't realize that the spike is there. So you kind of got to drop back down and then pop back up again. But it's like, was that intended as an alternate route through that section for folks who were having trouble with the enemies? And if the enemies were giving people trouble, then like, why not make those a little bit easier? Or was it just that maybe Ray's hadn't thought that the people would monkey bars, maybe didn't realize that material was grabbable, which like that's possible because the material's mainly used as like an accent. It's never being used to grab, like as a thing that you're supposed to grab, so maybe it's just something that Ray's didn't realize, and that's a possibility as well. But it is kind of like, it's a weird little gap there to have that kind of in, and if it was known that was grabbable, then why not use the material tweaker to make it not grabbable, because that's like totally a thing that you could do. So like, that's just weird like choices in that section. Grabbability again as well. So you get to that tower bit, and the tower bit's like, it's really weird because it's quite a difficulty spike because you got all these robots on the side. Again, not really working with the theming, but they're very cool, and one of them they're kind of on these arms, and they look really, really neat, and they will like mess up your day if you're not careful, because they shoot like 4 shots at once. Everything's shooting at you, everything's trying to kill you, and like you're supposed to climb up some ropes, but there's been ropes all over in the level so far, and none of those are climbable, and now like these ropes and only these ropes are climbable, and it's like, okay, it's not really necessarily clear to the player what might be going on in that section. You get into this little more like labby type section, and you're supposed to go over to the left. There's an arrow that's actually pointing in that direction, but it looks like that it's pointing at the velociraptor that you just came through. But if you try to go through that, you'll just get back to the section that you were in. You're supposed to go just like directly in the layer that you're in to the left, but it looks like a wall. So I could really easily see players kind of getting stuck in that bit, like what am I supposed to do? And you just walk over. And once you know like that's what you're supposed to do, it's not really a big issue, but like it is like player communication making it clear like that is the egress. I know that the arrow is there, but like the arrow's, I think, kind of directing players, they're going to notice the velociraptor, especially because it doesn't seem like you've come through that velociraptor when you get in that bit. The velociraptor section after that is like really weird. First off, like you're going to be going through this green velociraptor, there's an enemy there. You can actually, if the enemy kills you and keeps trying to follow you, it will block the velociraptor and soft lock the level, because you can't go through a velociraptor if there's something blocking the exit, and the enemy will just like sit there. So you can't even use it. So you gotta be kind of quick to stop as soon as you get out of the velociraptor before you've noticed the enemy. Easier to do on your second playthrough. Kill the enemy really quick so that it doesn't end up killing you, important, and then doesn't block the velociraptor. But now you've got like this yellow velociraptor that you're going to go through, and I had the hardest time with this for some reason. I guess I was just hitting it too low. I don't use velociraptors because like I recognize that they are like a really neat gameplay mechanic, and if you've got your levels set up for them, like I think they work really well. The preserving momentum and kind of getting players like flinging around the level like that, I think would be really, really neat. But like because I don't use them, I'm not really sure where the hitbox is on them, and I guess I was just hitting it too low. So I thought it was broken. So I just kind of climbed up the arm that the bounce pad, not the bounce pad, but like there's a wall bounce that you're supposed to use to get to the velociraptor. I climbed up the arm, jumped over it, kind of like sequence broke into the next section, which you can do, but that's going to make it a lot harder because there's like an electrified enemy that is really quick, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the velociraptor, and then like you're going to lure the enemy into this electrified bit that's going to kill the enemy. It's really cool. Like that's really great. But if you come at it in a non-standard direction, then the enemy can actually like follow you out, and kind of got me stuck for a little bit because it's really quite quick, and it was in an area that it was not supposed to be in. Like that whole bit from the tower to like the everything up to that, like I don't know what you call it, like the sci-fi section, I think really needs like a lot of playtesting and just like a lot of tweaks to make it more readable to the player, to make it more understandable like what you're supposed to be doing, and just making sure that players are moving in the right direction and that they're going to be able to move in the right direction, like things aren't going to block pathing so that they can't get out, things like that. That would really help. Once you get past that, and it's kind of a big ask, like because it's a chunky stage, it's a chunky level, but like once you get past that bit, and it's so much smoother, and it's really cool. Like the presentation here, I think it really shines. You've got these neat little bits where you're like kind of in darker areas with lots of purple highlighting, like from these crystals and things, and they look cool. There's like a section that you've got those like flaming arms that are actually from the factory of A Better Tomorrow that are going to be kind of not following you around, but like trying to kill you while you're swinging from stuff. And like it's really that, like all of that section is, I don't want to say standard, because I feel like saying that it's standard is kind of a backhanded compliment, if even a compliment, but it's like, it's much more readable as a player. It's like, I can understand what's expected from me in these bits. There are some sections where, like, I feel like the colors, the lighting colors and some of the material colors make things a little bit difficult to read, maybe where you want to go. There's one bit where you're supposed to grab onto like a rotating bit of sponge, and you're gonna like swing around, and it's gonna get you over some hazards, but it's red, and that area is very red, and it's a little bit easy to not notice the spongy bit there, so like that might be a small issue. Like, I don't think it's a really giant one, but it could cause a little bit of consternation to players, I would understand. But like, yeah, the second half of the level, it's really smooth, it's a lot of fun, I had a really good time with it. The first half of the level is interesting, there's like a lot of cool ideas on display in that section. And like the presentation I think was neat, even if I don't know if it's particularly in what they're trying to sell, but definitely needs like a lot of polish. I think that's like my takeaway, is that there's like cool stuff. There's really cool stuff in that first section, the first half, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Oh, one thing I want to point out, because it was really cool, although the first time that I played through, and because like the servers, when I played it the first time, and the servers were not having it. Apparently they're a little bit better now. Stephen I says that the servers are a little bit better now. I didn't have quite as much trouble today, except for the horrible gas stuff, which is more just like making my PlayStation explode. But there's a bit where like there's like a rocket head or a mech head. I know where it's from. It's from LBP 1. I don't think I've ever used it. It's one of the collected collected objects, but like it's used here. You can grab onto it, and it's gonna fling you around. Boom! You're gonna go through all these walls, and things are crashing and exploding, and you got your enemies are getting killed, and it's a fairly extended section, honestly. But like, it's cool. Like, it's got this really good sense of momentum that I think that the level really benefits from. So yeah, like that, I think that was maybe my standout. Like, this is neat. Like, I really like this bit, and I did really like the level. It just, as I said, it does need some work, some polish. But Ray's Beta, I think that you did a wonderful job with this level. Go back into it, give it a little bit of cleanup, give it a little bit of like testing and a bit of extra love, and I think that it would be a much stronger level that I could heartily recommend to folks. But I even still, like, I feel like I can recommend it to people. I think that you'll have a pretty good time with this. Just be forgiving of that first bit. But I've like talked a lot, so I'm gonna stop talking now, and we're gonna go. We're just gonna go. So from me, Isco, here in Tokyo, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.